Coconuts TV. It isn't often that Hong Kong is in the news. This is a glitzy global finance hub known for its stability and orderliness. But for the past week or so, the city has been the stage for a massive popular uprising. These demonstrations have been by and large peaceful, but initially police cracked down on the protests, using tear gas for the first time in 14 years, to the shock and outrage of people in Hong Kong and around the world. In 1997, Hong Kong was returned to China after 155 years as a British colony. But before that happened, Britain agreed with China that the city would retain its own systems of government and a high degree of autonomy for the next 50 years. The concept is known as one country, two systems.
Unprecedented though this moment in history may be, we have the utmost confidence in the abilities and resilience of the Hong Kong people.
Hong Kong's constitution, which kicked in after the handover, promises that citizens will eventually have the right to elect the city's leader, known as the chief executive, and that candidates will be nominated by a representative committee. Hong Kong has since slowly worked towards its goal of universal suffrage. This year, Beijing decided to allow Hong Kong to vote for their next chief executive in the 2017 elections. But there was a caveat. They could only choose from a pool of 2 to 3 candidates pre-selected by Beijing. In response, pro-democracy activists demanded that the public be able to nominate their own candidates for the election. University and secondary students organized strikes to protest Beijing's decision. Occupy Central, a pro-democracy movement, launched after the students' protests gained momentum. Since then, tens of thousands of protesters have camped out in key areas of Hong Kong, refusing to leave until the government gives in to their demands of true universal suffrage and the resignation of the city's current chief executive. The protests have gotten Beijing nervous. They swiftly censored any mentions of the protests, fearing that people on the mainland may get ideas. Most Hong Kongers are skeptical that Beijing will cave into any demands, and some think that the movement is just a giant headache that could provoke repercussions from Beijing. Whatever happens, this is undoubtedly a big moment in Hong Kong history. Not since the 1989 student uprising in Tiananmen Square has China's authority been so threatened. The big question now is what's next?